Ribbit, ribbit, croak.
Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the Tropical Raven. Today, we're on episode 3 of Bartender, Glass of God. Dude, this show. I love this show so much. From a bartender's perspective, the show is magical, beautiful. It captures what I see in cocktails that a lot of people don't see. They look and they're just like, oh yeah, he just likes to drink. And I'm like, no, I see beauty. Like, this show shows beauty. Now, episode 3. So excited for this. I can't wait to see what they pull out. It's called The Perfect Taste. Let's jump right into it. A different candidate.
部長がそうです。ラウンジバーで西澤チーフと話してたの聞いちゃったんですよ。
新たに候補者を保険ということでしょうか。
ああ、会長は笹倉流に入れ込んでるが、本人が首を縦に振らないんじゃ話にならない。
会長がカウンターバーにこだわるのは、ホテルダイヤモンドスターのバー K に対抗するためでしょう。政財界の重鎮も通う超一流バー、そう評されるのはバーテンダー葛原隆一氏の存在によるものです。ミスターパーフェクト。
Mr. Perfect. Okay, here we go. So we're establishing a rival here.
と呼ばれる彼に対抗できるバーテンダーは私の知る限り存在しません。
それじゃあ拉致が開かないんだよ。看板にできそうなやつをどうにか探さないと。
今さらまた別の人なんて。あ、先輩？ごめんゆかりちゃん、その話明日聞くね。ちょっと。珍しい。
That's right, I clocked out.
恋人の先輩が。誰かとデート
？Is she going on a date? Hotel Diamond Star. Let's see this, Mr. Perfect.
葛原さんってすごい人なのね。
日本のバーテンダーの地位を世界レベルに高めた立役者と言われておるからな。その完璧。
Now, I mean, I'll say, I've seen some videos of, like, the Japanese bars, the Japanese bartenders, and, like, that is a level of class that I fucking love. It is so cool. And, you know, I would just love to see it someday. I mean, I would even like to participate in that level of quality one day. Which, by the way, if you guys want to see me doing my bartending thing, follow twitch.tv/TheTropicalraven. Check us out. We're doing about one bar stream a week or so. We just do a 1 hour long stream where I make some cocktails, fool around with my friends, and we have a grand old time. Let's check it out.
故にミスターパーフェクトなどとあだ名されておる。
Mr. Perfect.
おめでと
う。これは珍しい。黒島会長。亡くなったラパンのマスターの酒しか飲まれなかった会長がいらっしゃるとは。ぜひ何か作らせてください。
最近はイーデンホールのバーテンダーが気に入っていてね。新しく入ったやつなんだが。これがなかなか面白くてな。
新しいバーテンダーですか。
きっと間が抜けておるがの。
いらっしゃいませ。
Ooh, immediately talking shit.
今日はお二人一緒なんですね。
You're together
実はこ
today.
れわしの愛人。
That's not his lover. That's his granddaughter, right? Right.
普段お客様同士の関係をお聞きすることはないのですが、おそらくとても仲の良いおじい様とお孫さんというところでしょ
う。わしがおむつ替えたのちゃんとバレとる。
もう。
So yeah, you don't really inquire about people's personal lives very much. I mean, there are some really snoopy bartenders out there, don't get me wrong, but most of that stuff is usually kept right up here, and for me to talk shit about anonymously, I'll be like, yo, dude, I had this customer today, this old dude with his like this girl could have been his granddaughter. They were saying they were on a date. It was crazy, you know, whatever. Crazy stuff like that.
ご注文はどうなさいますか？
肩こりに効くやつを頼む。
私も。
Good for a stiff
ち
neck.
っと堅苦しいパーティーがあってな。
なんだか気疲れしちゃった。
なるほど。かしこまりました。
That is accurate, honestly, though. That high level of care, I wish was able to be also represented by such a casual culture, but they kind of just don't go together. That kind of high level care also comes with such snootiness and such stiff-necked, and it's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. You'll see, guys, if you come out to the bar stream sometime, we're incredibly casual, but I assure you I'm making good drinks out there. You know, it's all about good vibes.
B&B をお願いします。
B&B. I assume one of the B's is Benedictine. Is it brandy? Is it brandy and Benedictine? I don't think I've heard of that one. However, I love Benedictine. Benedictine is amazing. Dom Benedictine 1510. That is the oldest liqueur, I say, in the world. You know, like the high sugar content liquors rather than a spirit, which is, you know, your rums, your brandies, your all that such. The second oldest being green chartreuse, which was 1605, I think. Somebody fact check me on that. Give me the dates right above my head note. All right, give me Dom Benedictine production like invention date and green chartreuse invention dates right above there. Let me see if it's 1510 and 1605. Cool.
B&B ってブランデーとベネディクティンを同量混ぜるだけのカクテルですよね。
はい。ブランデーの風味とベネディクティンの独特な甘み、飲むと一気に酔いが回ってぐっすり眠れそうだからでしょうか。どうぞ B&B です。
バーテンダーさん、この仕事は長いんですか？
You know, I've never had that before. I hope that tonight, when I go out for my bar stream, I might stop over at my work at the liquor store that I'm working at currently. Pick up a mini bottle of Benedictine because I'm out currently. But I do have, well, cognac, but cognac is brandy, technically. Well, no. Yes and no. Cognac is brandy that is made in cognac. You know, it's like how Scotch is whiskey made in Scotland. And all these snooty names and everything, I kind of hate it, but I get it for identification purposes, because there are some slight differences with them. But honestly, cognac and some Benedictine, I'll do equal parts. We might do that tonight for the bar stream.
8年になります。
8年。あのお客さん、どうしたんだろう。
お前はまだまだ見る目がないな。
ごちそうさま。私、今日で仕事を辞める決心がつきました。遅い時間にありがとうございました。泣いてた？
何があったんでしょう。バーテンダーを辞めるだなんて。
あの人、バーテンダーなの？
普通のお客様なら店に入るなり閉店時間を気にしたり。
That's true. Not normal people aren't as considerate as people actually in the, you know, the job, the industry.
いらっしゃいませ。
まだいいかね。
もちろんです。
Are they having Moscow mules?
来ると思っていたよ。
Mr. Perfect.
ご注文は
ジンフィズをいただこうか。
A gin fizz?
かしこまりました。
Is it a Ramos gin fizz?
ジンフィズは有名なカクテルだが、誰が考えたんだろうね。
1888年、ニューオーリンズ。インペリアルキャビネットサロン。 ラモス氏の創作とされています。
Ramos! It's the Ramos Gin
ではフィ
Fizz!
ズとは
炭酸の弾ける音から来ているそうですが、フィズフィズなんて聞こえませんよね。
ミスターパーフェクトに言うことか。
そうか。フランスで修行してたから葛原さんのことを知らないのね。
どうぞ、ジンフィズです。
No, that doesn't look right. The...
この味は。
お気に召しませんでしたか？
いや、美味しいよ。
It's good.
ただこの微妙なコクはなんだ。熟成した古いラムか。これは君のオリジナルかね？
はい。普通のレシピでは
Okay.
少々退屈ではないかと思いまして、プロの、それもおそらく一流バーテンダーの方に。
なぜ私がバーテンダーだと？
理由は2つあります。プロが新しいバーに入って力量を測るには何を。
Block out my whole search process here, Dote. We're gonna cut this out here. Maybe. Let's see, yeah, something like that. Let me grab the picture. Open image in new tab. There we go. Okay, perfect. You see, because this is what I mean when I'm talking about a Ramos Gin Fizz. This one takes a considerable amount of time to make because you have to dry shake it really long time. You have to wet shake it really long time. And then you pour it out. You pour the soda water on top. The foam should rise straight above the glass without falling over. Something like this kind of Ramos Gin Fizz will interrupt a service. People freaking hate to make it, and a lot of bartenders will just say no, right? If you just do this in the middle of a busy service. Now, I do this when I go to see my friends who work in bars. I'll go to my mentor, for example, works at a multi-million-dollar bar, which we will not name. I'll go there, which I plan to do very, very soon. And I'm gonna be like, can I get a Ramos Gin Fizz? Can you do it? Can you ask that guy to do the Ramos Gin Fizz for me? And they will deliver it and just say, you know what? You know what, guy? And they'll just grab you. They grab your neck like I'm grabbing this right here. You're like, okay, rant over. It's so funny. I love the Ramos Gin Fizz for that reason, that it's the shitter drink.
ジンフィズです。
Yep.
せめてご自身が客の立場でカウンターに座られた時は楽しんでいただけたらと。
楽しむ。君はこの私に推理ゲームを楽しませてくれたと。
生意気なことをして申し訳ありません。
それでジンフィズにラムを入れたんだな。
いえ、これは和三本です。
何？
おお。
和三本って和菓子に使う？
ええ、和三本は上品な甘みが特徴なんです。
その風味がラムに似てるから勘違いしたというわけか。ミスターパーフェクトが一本取られたな。
Oh, he tricked
なる
him.
ほど。確かに君は面白いバーテンダーだ。しかし私は木をてらった酒を作り消えていったバーテンダーを何人も知っている。
Okay.
君が今後もバーテンダーを続けるつもりなら一つだけ教えてあげよう。君のカクテルは完璧からは程遠い。
Jeez. Okay, Mr. Perfect.
君のカクテルは完璧からは程遠い。
笹倉さん、ずいぶんな言われようだったけど大丈夫かな。
今の仕事に自信がないわけね。
やっぱりやめた方がいいんでしょうか。
Getting some palm reading.
まだバーテンダーやめてなくてよかった。
あなたこの前の。
Oh,
実
they're
は
having coffee.
あの日 初めてお客様に B&B を作ったんですけど。どうぞ B&B です。
おお、どれ。まだまだかな。ステアが分かってないね。
常連さんとマスターにそう言われちゃって。ステアは氷を溶かさず素早く、しかもムラなく
Alright, this is a bit of a ridiculous statement right here. To stir quickly so the ice doesn't melt, but your drink still blends evenly? No, that's a ridiculous statement, actually. In fact, actually, I believe there was a study done. Was it by Dave Arnold, the guy who wrote Liquid Intelligence? I'm not 100% sure. I definitely have seen a study done that the drink sitting unagitated in ice will dilute at such a slow rate that it really doesn't matter how fast you're stirring it or how long you take to stir it. Unless, you know, it's a relatively crazy amount of time. Your average amount of time, like if I sat there and I poured all the ingredients into the mixing glass, right? Then I add ice to it, and then I even stepped aside to grab a bottle of beer for another guy. Then I put the spoon in, then I stir it, then I pour it. That extra few seconds from me walking away and getting a beer for somebody, that won't matter. Like, to the grand scheme of things, that don't matter to actually, like, a detectable taste, a detectable dilution to the cocktail. What does matter a lot is the size and shape of your ice that you're using, where Dave Arnold said ideally for a shaken cocktail, I believe it was, the ideal kind of thing is to have one big cube to dilute and, one big cube and a bunch of little cubes. The little cubes will dilute faster, and the big cube will stay there, stay solid for surface area and for chilling, essentially. The combination of those two things together, which say like how to drink Greg does it constantly. He will add one big cube and take a second cube and smash it with his spoon, drop it into the shaker. Shoutouts to How to Drink, by the way. That is the ideal method for making cocktails, as far as your ice goes, is what I believe it was.
混ぜる。豆が潰れるまで何度も何度も練習してきました。
Jeez.
なのにこれ以上何をどうすればいいっていうのよ。
バーテンダーがグラスの中で本当に混ぜているものが何かわかりますか？
What is it that they're
お
stirring?
酒への想像力です。酒はグラスの中でどう動き、お客様の口元に触れるときはどう変化しているのか。ブランデーとベネディクティンがお客様の口の中で理想の状態になるようステアするためには、
想像力が必要。
B&B は簡単に見えるけど、そこが落とし穴なんです。多分世界中のバーテンダーが一度はやってしまう失敗。でも大切なのはその後です。
その後。
そんなことで逃げ出すなら、最初からバーテンダーなんか目指さない方がいい。
何よ。なんであんたにそんなこと言われなきゃならないのよ。
You don't.
悔しかったらぜひもっと美味しい一杯を。
Ooh. Getting savage with her.
バー南のバーテンダー川上京子。いつでもお店にお越しください。
Oh. That's inspiration right there. That's, you get them mad to inspire them. That's right. That's sick.
頑張れ。
Good luck. And that's a genuine good luck. He cares about her.
え、今からですか？まあ、この雨でお客様も少ないでしょうし、オーナーがいいとおっしゃるのでしたら。
いらっしゃいませ。
Oh. Mr. Perfect.
いらっしゃいませ。
いやあ、急にすまないね。
いえ、オーナー、マキさんとお知り合いなんですね。
まあな、今日はちょっとばかり無理なお願いがあるんだが。
何でしょう。
実は君と彼に同じカクテルを作ってもらいたいんだ。
え、お客様、当店ではそのようなことは。
チェン、店をクローズドに。
Close the bar.
もうなんなのおじいちゃん。面白いもん。
It's a bartender off. Pull your guns. Pull them all. Pew 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 pew. No actual guns used in this. Okay. That was crazy. I don't know. Dude, they're gonna compare each other's cocktails against each other. That is, I don't like that. That's so standoffish, almost in a way. I mean, for like comparison purposes, to be like, oh, this one's a little more sweet and this one's a little more, whatever. Like that's fine. But when you're actually just like, who's the better bartender? That's just so standoffish, and I hate that.
一つよろしいでしょうか。
So wait, the king of the cocktails is the martini, and the queen would then be the Manhattan, huh? I mean, I would say that men are attracted to the queen and women are attracted to the king more often than not. Now, I mean, I like myself a good martini every now and then, but, you know, a Manhattan? I take Manhattans all the time, dude. Alright, let's see. If my Manhattan's more delicious, I would like you to drink one of my cocktails.
君ほどのバーテンダーがなぜそんなことにこだわる？
バーテンダーとしての意地とプライドでしょうか。
よかろう。だがもし君が負けたら
この場でバーコートを脱いで引退しなければなりませんね。
Oh my god.
始めましょうか。
This is intense. This is an intense bar battle here. Okay, he wants the chairman to drink one of the cocktails, something that, Sasakura-kun here has already accomplished. The chairman has drank his cocktail and enjoyed it, which is awesome. So he's got something over Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect doesn't want him to have anything over him. He wants his pride to be, sated? Sated? What's the word, man? What is it? I don't know, whatever. He wants to be proud as a bartender, and he's relying on the chairman drinking his drink for that, because the chairman obviously hasn't drank any of his drinks yet. Like, still just doesn't accept them and won't fully consume them. He'll just taste them and be like, no, I don't like that. This is interesting. Let's see. Canadian Club 12-year and Shinzano Vermouth? I haven't seen that one before. Interesting.
バランスでしょうか。
そう。ただし足し算ではいけない。掛け算にならなければ意味がない。スプーンの背は常にミキシンググラスの外側に触れ、氷の動きに逆らわず回す。混ぜすぎれば氷が溶けて薄くなり、混ぜ足りなければ一体感が出ない。
If you don't stir enough, the drink won't be chilled. That's the real thing. Now, there's something about this as well. Really, over diluting a cocktail when stirring it doesn't happen that much because you're stirring the cocktail, right? Now, they say, so here's a few things, right? So if you were to over dilute a cocktail by stirring it, you're stirring it for minutes, multiple minutes to over dilute a cocktail, right? Shaking a cocktail for 10 seconds is the equivalent to, I believe, about 2.5 minutes of stirring a cocktail. I think somebody could check the math on that again. But, like, to reach that kind of level, you would have to be stirring for a long, long time. I think, I usually go for, like, 20 to 25 seconds or so, stirring. But I usually use, like, visual cues, you know what I mean? Like, I'll see when the glass is, starting to frost over. I'll see when the liquid volume is rising, all these little things, right? It's all very picky and all that, but the chances that you're gonna over dilute a cocktail while stirring it are incredibly low.
ミワ、目を閉じていなさい。いいぞ。
これが
どちらが作ったのか分かっていてはつまらんからな。
グラスが違うだけで同じように見える。じゃあ飲んでみます。こっちから。
This one first.
美味しい。ウイスキーベースなのにすごく味が軽くてさっぱりしてる。こっちは。私こっちの方が好きです。味に丸みがあって美味しかった。
それは笹倉くんの
That
マン
one's
ハッタンじゃ。
Sakura-kun's.
そっか。でもどうして味が違うの？
人の舌は体温よりプラスマイナス25度から30度離れている温度を美味しく感じます。多分僕が作ったものの方が少しだけ温度にして1度か2度高い。
もう何なのおじいちゃん。
おじい様に呼ばれて急いで駆けつけた君は汗ばむほど体温が上がっていた。だから少しだけ冷えすぎないように作ったんです。
そこまで考えて作るのね。
未
Jeez.
熟というのはある意味で微笑ましい光景ですね。カクテルは嗜好品ですから好き嫌いがあるのは当然です。問題はこれをカクテルとマンハッタンと呼べるかどうか。
笹倉さんのはちゃんと美味しいマンハッタンでした。
もう一度飲んでいただければ。
さっきと味が違う。
失礼します。これは
分かったかね。それが完璧な味だ。客に媚びカクテルとしての完成度を目指さなくなった時、バーテンダーとしての堕落が始まる。
Okay, now here comes that debate then, yeah? So here comes the in-between of, do you try to make a good drink or do you try to please the customer, right? Because some customers might want something that's not the perfect drink. It comes at a happy medium, right? We already know that. We're already talking about these two are just extremes here, right? So obviously you want to make your drink good, but you obviously don't want to... So you don't want to cater too much to the customer that you lose the identity of your cocktail, but you also want to make sure that the cocktail holds standards. It's a back and forth tug of war between these two things. I'm gonna be honest. I lean more towards Mr. Perfect with this one. I will cater towards a customer for what they are drinking, but I'm not going to take what they're drinking and alter it just for them, right? Sometimes. That's a tough one to say. I'll make an original, but I won't claim it as one thing. If they want a Manhattan, they're getting a Manhattan, right? I'm not going to then make it something that's not a Manhattan as far as I would consider it. Now, this is just a matter of dilution. This is not that crazy. But yes, I lean more towards making a good cocktail more than taking the identity away from my drink to please a customer.
バーテンダーは常に客がひれ伏すような完璧な味を目指さなくてはならない。自分の未熟さが分かったら帰りなさい。
笹倉さん、待って。
若いというのはいいもんじゃな。
次はきっとうまくできるわよ。
素人にはわからないよ。
何よ、人が心配してるの
に。ミスターパーフェクトか。今日は乾杯だったな。
それは違うと思う。
え？
バーテンダーの技術は経験と努力で磨くことができるよね。でもお客様を満足させたいと思う心は 簡単には磨けない。あなたは私のための一杯を作ってくれた。その気持ちは葛原さんにも負けなかった。でしょ？
ありがとう。君って意外といいやつだな。
Now that's really nice. Now, there is something to be said, yeah. Now, if you go back on my TikTok, for example, I made something recently for an old friend when I watched the second episode. I made an old pal variation, I believed. I called it the Lost Flame. Yeah. Now, it was a variation, and I make sure very much to rename it and to call it a variation because I made that cocktail very specifically for someone else, right? And it's not an old pal anymore. It's lost some identity because I've transformed some of the flavors. But it gained a new identity, right? So I think it's weird. So yeah, if I'm making just a Manhattan, I'm working to make the perfect Manhattan, right? Now, if I'm making something for somebody else, I'm not going to call it a Manhattan, and I'm not going to try to make it just a Manhattan. I'm going to take inspiration from a Manhattan to make this unique other drink for the person, and that is heartwarming, and that's what he's explaining right now. Now, that's incredibly heartwarming. As I was saying earlier, now I feel like I'm trying to, like, kind of switch it up on you, but I'm really not. Yes, I lean more towards perfection on the cocktail. Yes, I will also accommodate other customers, and you'll see that through a lot of the original stuff that I create. I find this so interesting. This show is so great that it kind of pulls that stuff on you. Like, it's a big old tug of war between those two things now. I like it. I don't know. You can cut a lot of the me arguing with myself if you want to.
急にそんな真面目な顔で食べないでよ。なんか照れるじゃないの。
せっかく乾いたのに。
Oh, that was the end. All right. So, guys, that was episode 3 of Bartender Glass of God. That was episode 3 of Bartender Glass of God, named The Perfect Taste. Mr. Perfect is an incredible rival because he's stuck in his ways. He makes the perfect drink, and he doesn't accommodate at all. He brings the customers to their knees, while our main character accommodates. He makes the drink just for the customer, and those are a tug of war that pulls both directions and is super interesting as a duality. Now, I've argued with myself a lot here throughout this episode on this. You guys can, of course, decide for yourselves how you feel about that by following The Tropical Raven on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Check out a lot of my bar content, and check out our bar streams on Twitch in particular. But with that, have a fantastic day, guys, and stay tuned for episode 4 next week. The bar's hidden flavor. The bar's hidden flavor. The face of a martini. Peace out, guys.